Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Right now, it's very early up. It's about 8 a.m. and we have just arrived at the GIVI factory here in Kuala Lumpur. So it's somewhere at the outskirts of Kuala Lumpur. It's not inside because right now we're somewhere special, which is we're exactly at the GIVI factory and office here in Malaysia. Yes, you heard that right. It's a factory. So they actually do produce some of your GIVI boxes that you use today right here in Malaysia. So follow me as we go inside and we see who to talk to. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Aaron.
Nice to meet you, Aaron.
Welcome to GIVI.
Okay, so I think many people want to know what is GIVI?
Right, so we are a motorcycle accessory company, and we also do a bit of manufacturing in Malaysia, and we also have different groups of factory plants all around the world.
So I've seen the wall, there's a lot of history going on with GIVI. So can we walk to the wall and then you can explain to me the history of GIVI and how everything started and how you guys are today?
Okay. So GIVI is actually the brand itself is the name of our owner. His name is Giuseppe Vicenzi. So the first two letters of his two names, GIVI, forms GIVI.
Okay.
Yeah. GIVI Malaysia, we started in 1994. That's when we decided to, my dad, Mr. On, he actually approached GIVI Italy to bring in some products and see whether they can sell in Malaysia. And after that, they form a partnership, and then a few years down the road, they set up a warehouse, and then after that, a manufacturing plant.
Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard that this is also a factory as well.
Correct.
Where you guys produce box locally here to sell around Asia. So maybe you can show us around the factory?
Of course.
All right,
Of course.
let's go, guys.
Let's go. Our MIS department, which is called Management and Information System.
Okay.
So it handles all our data collection and also the systems and IT and things like that.
Okay.
Our server is inside and things like that. So this office mainly controls the production. They are like the police of all data.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
In a way.
Alright guys, so right now we're just about to enter the GIVI production plant. So you guys can take a look. So it's a whole production line of where your boxes are being made over here. You know, the boxes that you use today from GIVI might actually come from here, you know.
So welcome to GIVI store. This is where we store our raw material.
Right.
We also have a container loading bay over there. This is where we keep stock of all our parts, components that we produce, as well as all the raw material that we bring in from supplier.
Understand.
Like you can see cartons, all these are PP copolymer. They are the cornerstone of our raw material.
Right.
Later I can show you the bits of how we produce the box.
Yep.
So other than that, it's just a store.
Yeah, but just to confirm, so the boxes are not being assembled here, but they are literally being produced here, as you can see from the raw materials over here. So it's literally from scratch to a box, right?
Yep.
That's awesome. I can paint also.
This is where we have certain components of our box we have to paint.
Yep.
And also some finishing that we want to make it look like there's some contrast. Because plastic, there is that very consistent finishing.
Yep.
Then of course you have to add some deco plates, some reflectors to make the box look like GIVI boxes.
Yep. Right.
Yep.
So do you guys powder coat the boxes, or is there any special way that you guys can ensure that the coating is all good, you know, for longer lasting time?
So PP comes in black.
Yep.
They put a master batch that is in black color to inject it out to become black. The reason why it stays black very long, we added a UV sort of additive into the mix.
Okay.
So the UV additive is actually very expensive. It's I think about 40% of the total cost of that part to make sure that the box stays black and it looks good throughout lah. Currently in the plastic department,
Right.
We have about 13 plastic injection machine. These are called plastic injection machine.
Okay.
So we produce every component in our box. So for example, like all these are also part of our component of the box
Oh,
that we
okay.
can assemble it later.
This one is for the hinge, right?
No, the sort of like the, what do they call it? When you open the box, there
It
is
doesn't
the,
let it go too far back,
correct,
right?
correct,
Okay, yeah.
yeah.
Take a look at this thing, guys. All right here. Check it out. Awesome.
Once we produce them, because every machine has its own runtime,
Yep.
we will go back into the store for to store it first before there is a production for assembly. Then we bring it back
Yep.
out lah. Things like that. So this is the raw material we were showing you earlier. This is polypropylene. We use 100% virgin polypropylene, and then we have, like you can see, there's black dots. These are the master batches. When it injected out, it become black.
Yep.
Yeah, for some reason, even though majority is white lah.
Yeah, I can see it. Well, what are you saying the black one was, what is about again?
It's the master batch. So it will provide the color. When you inject it out, it will look like black color.
And you only need like this
That
amount
little bit, yeah.
for
yeah.
the whole thing to be
Yeah,
black.
yeah.
Oh, that's pretty impressive. Guys, take a look at this. So they only need like a few bits. Look at how much white bits and how much of the black bits there are. But just a little bit of this makes your whole box or items black. It's quite impressive. I would expect it like half and half maybe.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
but it's not. Yeah.
Right, it's quite very, very impressive.
Okay, so this is one of this is how plastic injection works. Basically, the barrel, as you saw earlier,
Yeah.
it will be dragged here. There will be a siphon to go up into the funnel,
Yep.
and there will be a heating element to sort of channel the melted plastic, the bits of PP plastic into the chamber, and then it will be pushed into the mold.
Okay.
So that the blue one is the mold, and then of course we don't need human to man it because we got all the robot arm to sort of automate it lah.
So in a day, how many of these boxes or this mold can you actually produce?
I think for one machine it can go up to like 300-400
A day.
a day of like components.
Okay, and how many machines do you have here?
We have 13, but they
13.
ranges in sizes.
Yep.
So of course the big one can hold bigger mold, which only can. So I think we only have like 3 or 4 of that, and then the smaller ones handles all the components like you saw earlier.
That's awesome. Guys, take a look at all these boxes. This one just came out fresh.
As we like to say, fresh off the oven.
So I assume it's hot right now.
It's
if I
a
touch
bit
it.
hot, yeah. It's a bit warm. We produce all our fitting kits
Oh, okay.
for the bike.
Yep.
As you know, there's so many different motorcycles in the market.
Yep.
And every bike has to have its own sort of custom design.
For sure, different bikes,
correct.
different fitting kits.
Correct,
Stuff like
because
that.
their mounting area is very different.
Correct.
So, so our production runs in a way where we use sheet to fit our to open screw points
Yep.
for our plate, and then we have the tube. Later you can see. That's where it will mount it on the bike lah.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, so this is, we have a few laser cutters, CNC laser cutters.
Yep. I realize it's super efficient. You guys even have the machine, so whenever it's done, a new one goes in.
Yep.
Then it comes out. So very little, I guess, long hour works for manpower.
Yep,
You guys
yep.
got all the robots doing all the heavy lifting for you guys.
So we can have just one person handling two robots. We don't really need like one person, one machine and things like that lah.
And that's the reason why GIVI is so effective in pushing out new products and how your products are always in stock, right?
Yeah, yeah. Once the laser sheet cut out, it needs to be bended. So it will be bended this way.
Okay. Take a look at this, guys. So this is how it is in its raw form, and this is after when it's bent. Right. It's quite impressive. Look at how thick it is. Right here, do you guys see it? Okay, check this out. Pretty freaking cool, man. So he did mention that if something's a bit off with the product, the man in charge will just toss it away. So you'll never make it into production line. So that's how GIVI keeps up with all its products and how every product seems to be working as intended, right? You never receive a faulty product and stuff like that. So it's pretty, really cool to see in person on how much effort it takes for your box to actually, be at your doorstep or be on your bike.
So we have some pipe bending machines over there. So what the pipe bending machine do is from a straight pipe like this,
Yeah.
they will bend it into the shape
This is
needle.
the rack.
This is one of the rack, yeah. This is a ZR rack.
Which one? Sorry?
ZR.
ZR rack.
Yeah, ZR rack.
Okay, so all these racks, they even got all the... Can I take it out?
Yeah, you can.
You see all these racks right here. Then you've got your mounting hole right over here. So everything is already all done in this here.
So this is for RS 150R.
RS 150.
Yeah.
For the cup size basically.
Yeah, for the cutter, yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, you guys are very lucky because usually we don't have 3D scanners working here. So this is one of the process for our R&D that they're doing. Whenever a bike comes in, we will 3D scan it into digitally, and then we will try to develop the rack via our 3D software.
Right.
So it works faster, and basically we can have a digital copy of the bike, of the profile, and then we can also see when we design the rack, we don't have to waste a lot of sort of like metal parts because the first draft of any design surely is going to be crap.
Yeah,
as we know.
For sure.
So when we use 3D, we can limit the wastage in a way. Yeah, we can control the wastage
So this is how GIVI keeps up products on the newer bikes, because you guys have this machine here and you guys obviously have your staff working here R&Ding the bike, So that's how GIVI is being able to push out all these products so fast, right?
Yeah.
Like all these new models just launched. Example for myself, my own experience, like a new model just launched, and 2 months later, okay, GIVI really has a rack for it.
We'll try our best.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are definitely putting in all the work, because many times over and over again, I always see a new bike being launched, and a few months later, in fact, maybe just the next week after a new launch, right? Someone walked in our showroom, guys, does GIVI sell this already? We take a look at it. I don't think so, because your bike is very new. And then, who knows what, next month, suddenly you guys have the new rack already. So it's very impressive on what you guys do. You can see all these impurities in here, all these scratches and all these marks. And then the machine right over behind me, that big machine right there is where they do the sandblast and make
then
a
maybe
smooth
this
product.
is a better representation.
Right.
This has more rust.
Right, so take a look at this. So this definitely does not look like your GIVI product, right? Because it's still raw, it's unfinished, right? So that's why they go in the machine right there and they polish it up, remove all these impurities in there.
So after they're done, they will go into a packing line. So this is a sort of the metal packing line.
Yeah.
Once they will put into plastic bags, they will make sure all the components are correct. They'll prepare all the components at a small stations here.
Right.
Packed it nicely in a bag to be put into all the boxes after that.
So this would be like the finished product here already.
Like the component of the finished product, yes.
Okay, so what's left after this?
Once they go into the cartons, they will go into the warehouse.
And then from there, it's ready to be shipped out.
Yes.
Globally.
Yes.
Okay. Check it out. This is your finished product. We got start to finish, we got the metal, everything's all done up. And then we got all your mounting screws and everything here. Take for my bike.
This part is all the QC. They test weather testing, so that weather accelerator machine.
Oh.
So this one is very useful for us because certain components that using adhesive, that certain deco plate that has like a red and glossy finish, we want to see how long it takes before it loses its gloss. Especially like adhesive, how long does it take for it to be not adhesive?
Does this? Oh, so it's like an aging.
Yeah, it's
chamber.
like a chamber. It's like a aging chamber. So there's a turntable in the middle.
Yep.
They have a very strong UV light, just blasting it.
Yep.
And then it can also mimic rain, so we can put some sort of rain solution in so that see whether it corrodes quickly. we can look at the time, how long does it take. So we have like a formula. If we put in 1 week, it's equal to 1 year, for example.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So we have this kind of formula going on, just to get an idea, rather than leaving the component in the sun and rain for 1 year to only get the result.
Yeah.
Something like that lah. So it definitely helps us quite a bit.
I assume this also tests the water seepage of the boxes.
Yes. No, water seepage is this one.
Oh.
Because this chamber is a bit small. So
Right.
this one we test more of the smaller components. I can show you. Oh, this is locked. So like our logo, how long does it lose the shine?
Okay.
Okay, that's one. These kind of stickers, these are adhesive stickers.
Yep.
How long does it start to peel?
Peel?
Yeah, always we can control to a certain extent.
Yep.
Right, the adhesive can be as strong to a certain extent. It doesn't last forever.
Yeah, nothing is forever.
Yeah, so we just want an idea of how long does it last. In
Yeah.
a way. Yeah. So currently we have 2 lines running.
Okay.
Each line has 6 operators. So it will start with the line leader bringing all the components ready to be
So
assembled.
this is where it starts.
Correct. All the components, like all this need to be part of the box.
Yep.
Need to be included into the box
The
because
base plate, the universal base plate.
yeah, because once it's done, it will go into the cartons and it will be shipped out into the pallet size.
Awesome. So,
So-
line starts here.
Yep. So there will be a QC line at the end of each production, each assembly line.
Yep.
To make sure that all the components, all the checklists is all in order. It's all included before it's being put into the carton.
Right.
Yeah.
So the line starts all the way
From the back. In each parts, we must have someone to test all the components, whether is there any faultiness and things like that before it starts to produce.
Yeah. Right here will be the final assembly line before the box goes into the packaging, and that's where you receive your box. So as you can see from the very start, we've got the raw materials, and then now we have something that is already fully done up. So you can see the box now is still pretty empty. So that's where they got the GIVI logo and your model logo, all is gonna go on top, right? It's very impressive to see that how starting from something so small can go into something into a final product. So right over there is where the line is doing. So the boxes don't come pre-made. The machine don't make the boxes as well. So this is to ensure that the boxes are being made properly, and at the end of the line, there is actually a QC check on all the boxes.
So I think there is a process at the end.
Yeah.
Like the fella have to test all the mechanical parts
Yeah.
to make sure that the locking
And
system
cleaning the
works.
box as well.
And cleaning the box as well. Checking if there's any scratches around before we package it. There is a conveyor to help passing the product along
Yep.
at the back. So you see once you're done, it's like a sushi conveyor belt.
Yeah. So I noticed that all of the boxes has that 2-year sticker. So what does that guarantee?
So it guarantees all mechanical parts being able to be claimed.
Yep.
If there's any problems with the locking, with the unboxing, and things like that. Of course, scratches we probably won't.
Yeah. Scratches, no,
yeah.
is a own week.
It's a wear and tear thing,
Plain one.
right? But other than that, we can guarantee our components should be able to last more than 2 years.
Yeah. Although they only put 2 years, but they last more than 2 years. Your iPhone will give you 1 year warranty, but your iPhone lasts longer than that. So it's really, really nice to see all this happening in person. So, okay, let's say, for example, within 1 year, the lock fails. So what does GIVI do to accommodate for my lock?
So we will replace it. If there is, we have a channel to go through. Either you go through your dealer. If you buy from a specific dealer, they can go back to the dealer. The dealer will contact us.
Yep.
And then we will bring the physical box back and service it, and then we'll send it back to them.
Okay.
So this is where the warehouse. This is where we store all our finished goods.
Yep.
Once production is done with the production, they put into cartons and things like that. It will be shipped into, or we will be moved into this sort of area, where they will store it based on types of product.
Yep.
So you have the metal racks on the left here, and then all the boxes on the right. We have a container shipping loading dock over there, and then these racks are slightly different because they work by first in first out function and things like that. So this is where we have our marketing department. So last year, we actually celebrated our 30th anniversary.
Nice.
That's why you see in the
Right here.
shirt, we have a 30th anniversary logo. We also sponsor a motorcycle team, a MotoGP team. So they are called LCR, the LCR team. We were
LCR.
the main sponsors for them for many, many years.
Even
basically.
to current date today.
Even to current date. Yeah.
Okay. Seen some familiar
It
names.
started with the owner, Lucio Cicchinello, hence LCR.
Yep.
So we also, I think our owner knows him quite well from the very beginning. He's a racer. Same as our owner also.
So they were actually like friends.
Yeah, they were
close friends.
racing friends in a way.
Okay.
Yeah. And then he created a team under MotoGP. And then we decided to sponsor them and support them for many, many years.
Awesome.
Until 2024.
Yep.
We have, you can see from the olden times to the latest version.
Right.
I can show you the first few boxes that we produced in Malaysia. So these are the vintage boxes over here. So this, I think Beauty was around since 1994.
It looks vintage for sure.
Yeah.
And the Vero.
Vero is this one.
That one, not that.
Yeah. But this is also quite prominent in if you try to see on the streets. If they have this, means they are
the pioneer OGs.
yeah, the OGs
The classics.
Yeah.
Classic rider.
Actually, I would see this box like, I wouldn't be surprised if someone made this kind of shape like in today's market. I think someone will definitely like it. But you can
Really?
definitely see I guess it's unique.
We still have the mold, so my sales got no confidence.
When GIVI came in, we came in as a square box.
Right.
And after that, the trend changed to round shape. But
Recently,
not recently, actually 5, 6 years ago, started back to the square shape.
So you guys see this? Looks familiar, right? So if you guys remember in the very first episode, these are the same gloves that I'm wearing. So we have come to the end of the GIVI factory tour here in Kuala Lumpur. As you guys can see, we ran through everything, and I would like to give a special thanks to Aaron
you're welcome.
for showing us around the place and showing us how things work. So right now, it does give me a lot more assurance in the GIVI quality products, right? Back then we under how did they do this, how they do that. Now you really see in person how they do it and why they do it. So this is the end of the video. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll catch you tomorrow when we're heading back to Singapore.
Thank you.